How many of us will be willing to admit to ourselves that while we desire our dream life, while we can envision that, the safety of our identity, our current identity, keeps us stuck? We say we want more, but deep down, more feels so unfamiliar. You've probably said it before. This is going to be my year. You set the goals, you buy the journals, pay for your gym membership. You even start strong, but somehow by March and sometimes even February, you're back in the same place. Frustrated, overwhelmed, exhausted, wondering why you can't hold this version of you that's been in your heart, that's been in your mind, the version of you that you know you're meant to become. If that's you, I see you. Grab a glass of sparkling water, a glass of wine, a glass of juice, pull up a seat, and let's reason a little. In this video, I want to share how I got unstuck for good and how you can stop starting over and actually evolve into the person who is manifesting the life of their dreams. So stick around to the end. You're gonna love what I'm about to share with you. Hey loves, if you're new here, I'm Aisha Nesut, mindset and alignment coach, soulful visionary, and mompreneur, building $1 million digital brand from alignment and not hustle. I bridge strategy and soul and guide heart-centered women like you to break through from limitations, tap into their inner wisdom, master their mindset, and design a thriving, soul-aligned lifestyle that's rooted in joy, rooted in purpose, and of course, prosperity. If you're done with hustle culture and that surface level self-help, and you're ready to lead from intention, resonance, and abundance, this is the space for you. So hit the subscribe button and toggle on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Starting over year after year after year is not just exhausting, it's wounding. Every time you reset, every time you fall off, every time you try again from the same mindset that broke you the first time, you chip away at your self-trust and your confidence. You learn to chase a version of you instead of become a new version of you. Somewhere along our life path, many of us have been taught to believe that we weren't worthy, that we weren't good enough, that there's something wrong with us. And so we go on this quest of trying to fix ourselves. And so we sign up for every course. We are reading all the books. We're going on every fad diet, hoping that this time it'll finally stick. We start adding and piling on all these things. But I want you to write something down for me. Grab a pen and paper and write this down. You cannot build a new reality on top of a broken identity. Write that down. And then once you've written that down, I have something else I want you to write. I want you to write this, and I want you to say this. I cannot build a new reality on top of a broken identity. This is what we have to come to terms with. You don't evolve by adding more. I know that's something that I truly believed for a very, very long time. But you don't evolve by adding more. You evolve by letting go. You evolve by subtracting. A mentor of mine says, you subtract to multiply. And finally, I got it. And that's what I'm sharing with you in this video. As long as you believe you're not enough, you'll be rebuilding your life from scarcity and lack, even when your intentions are pure. And that is why it doesn't stick. That is why you keep starting and you keep stopping. And it has nothing to do with being lazy. It has nothing to do with being undisciplined. You're trying to become your highest self from a place of self-rejection. You can't evolve when your growth is rooted in guilt, fear, and shame. You cannot embody your next level while you're still clinging on to a version of you that was only built for your survival, right? So this goes deeper than discipline. This is about your identity. What do you believe to be true about you? Who do you believe you are? In which ways have you been loathing and punishing yourself? And how often do you tie your worth to what you put out, what you create, your value to your visibility, and your power to someone else's permission? That is not evolution. That is exhaustion dressed up as ambition. And I've been there. So certainly this is a no judgment zone, right? In fact, there was a season of my life where I couldn't sit still without feeling unworthy. If I wasn't doing something, I felt like I wasn't valuable. If I wasn't posting or producing or pushing, hustling, I felt like I would fall behind and I didn't know how to even rest without feeling guilty. I didn't know how to receive without first having to prove that I deserved it. And for a while, I thought that that was just the cost of building a vision. That was the cost of being ambitious. How interesting that is, right? How interesting it is that it is so normal to glorify burnout and that we celebrate the fact that we have had to sacrifice. And the way hustle culture is something that we should be so proud of, when in fact it's just hyper vigilance, hyper masculinity. We've been conditioned to believe that exhaustion is noble and that struggle makes us worthy. That ease is just utter laziness and softness is weakness, fragility. But here's what I've learned through my own journey and what I now teach my clients and my students. You do not have to suffer or sacrifice your way to success. Now, I'm not saying that there won't be sacrifices that have to be made, but will you be required to be the sacrificial lamb? Will you have to sacrifice every other aspect of your life just so that this one aspect of your life can thrive? No, 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 no. We are not going to continue to perpetuate this idea and this cycle of feeling like we have to constantly do in order to be. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn love, joy, or abundance. Trying to manifest abundance from burnout, trying to access joy from a nervous system that's stuck in survival. It's like trying to build your foundation on sand. And we all know about the story of the, what was it, the little pig or someone that was trying to build their house on the sand? It did not work out well for them. It ain't gonna work out well for you either. As soon as you build it up, as soon as you build that foundation up, all it takes is one big wave. And there you are, starting all over again until it becomes your identity, until starting over becomes your comfort zone, your cycle, right? Because you've never truly felt safe holding what you've asked for. So let me know in the comments if any of this is making sense to you. How many of us will be willing to admit to ourselves that while we desire our dream life, while we can envision that, the safety of our identity, our current identity, keeps us stuck? We say we want more, but deep down, more feels so unfamiliar. More visibility, more responsibility, more abundance. it all feels unfamiliar. And when unfamiliarity triggers fear, we then go to sabotage. We delay, we procrastinate, we shrink because we haven't mastered receiving what we've prayed for. You haven't mastered receiving what you've prayed for. And so this is how you stay stuck in the loop. You're trying to build your dream business or your dream career on a nervous system that still thinks the goal is survival. You're trying to become the embodied, powerful version of you, but you keep dragging around these outdated beliefs. You keep dragging around these expectations from everybody, and you keep these internalized, not enough conversations on autoplay, trying to bring these things into your next chapter. This is how we keep playing ourselves. This is why we keep starting and stopping and starting over again. Okay? It's not that you don't know what to do. That is not it. It's that you're not shifting internally. You're not creating a new identity. You're just repeating who you've always been with better intentions, right? And this was a loop that I myself lived in for many years. Every 6 to 9 months, I was starting over. I was creating a new game plan, and yet still, I was not evolving, right? At least not at the pace that I could have been. I was just repackaging old patterns. And why? Because I was trying to build a new life with the same internal thermostat, the same internal limitations. I hadn't truly shifted my beliefs. I hadn't redefined who I was at the core. I was still identifying with this version of myself that had the old wounds, that was showing up with the old wounds, that was showing up with the bad habits, that was all about strategy, all about the strategy. But at the same time, I was so disconnected from myself and from trusting myself. I knew how to do, because a lot of us, we know how to do. We're busy bodies. So I knew how to do, but I didn't understand fully how to become. And every time I tried to leap forward, life would just pull me back, and not to punish me. Because a lot of us feel like every time we fall down, it's punishment. But when life pulls us back, it's not to punish us. It's we're being pulled back so that we can come face to face with the parts of us that still require evolution. Not fixing parts of us, but releasing and letting go of what no longer serves us. And this was actually the first mindset shift for me. I do not need to fix myself. The current version of me and the current version of you was not built to thrive. She was built to survive. She was built for your survival. And the fact that I'm sitting here with you recording this video means that she played her role and she played it well. She did what she was meant to do. So can we release this notion that we are these broken, dysfunctional projects that are in constant need of repair? Because the version of me, the one who overworked, the one who overthought and who overgave, she did those things so that I could survive, so that I could sit here today and speak from my personal truth. She got me through some things that I didn't think I'd make it out of. She protected me. She kept me alive. She hustled for my worth when I didn't even know how to own my worth. And for that, I love and I honor her. And this is how we begin to build that solid foundation for our evolution, acknowledging and accepting who is the current version of me, who is the current version of you. Asking questions, and you got to write some of these down. Write these down. These are some of the questions that you want to ask yourself. Why am I so afraid to embrace and value her? What would happen if instead of rejecting this version of myself, what would happen if I chose to partner with her? This is how we begin to create that solid foundation, not by bypassing where we are presently or where we've been, but by fully acknowledging who is the current version of me? What are her patterns? What are her fears? What is her wisdom? And most importantly, why am I so afraid? Why am I so afraid to embrace and value her exactly as she is? Who has taught me that it's not okay to love me for me? You have to be willing to come face to face with all of you because you cannot evolve from a version of you you secretly resent or hate, right? Shame will always sabotage what you try to build or sustain. Fear will sabotage what you try to build or sustain. But when you begin with love and acceptance, and I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. When you begin with that love and acceptance, when you honor the role that the current version of you plays, you are creating safety. And safety is the root of sustainable transformation. That is fundamental as a human being. We want to feel safe. And embodiment is then the key to your evolution. So, affirmations are great, but no matter how many affirmations you say, you cannot just speak your way to a new life. The mental has to connect with the emotional, has to connect with the verbal and the physical. Everything is energy. You have to speak it, you have to feel it, you have to become it in your habits, in your nervous system, in your daily rhythm. And so, sis, I know that for a lot of us, we've tried so many things. We've done all the things. We've done and done and done, do and do and do. And you may have just come to the conclusion that manifesting your dream life is beyond your reach or that you just don't have what it takes. But I'm going to ask you, are you willing to keep betting on yourself? Are you willing to release the part of you that is always bracing for disappointment? Are you willing to become a new version of yourself? Before I wrap up, I'm going to share two simple but powerful ways that help me to begin embodying my evolution. And there's a lot more I'll be sharing on this topic. And so be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So, first up, there's radical self honesty. And I have to put the plus sign here and say without judgment. And that is something that I've been learning and practicing over the last maybe two plus years. This practice is about awareness. It's not about self blaming. It's not about self loathing. It's not about all the things that are wrong with you. This is about an awareness of who you currently are. And so some of the questions you can ask yourself include things like, what version of me is running the show right now? Is this a grounded version of me? Is this a reactive version of me? Is this a rooted version of me? Or is this a performative version of me? Am I moving from love or am I moving from fear? Is this a woman who feels worthy and clear, or is this a little girl who's still trying to earn her seat at the table? Again, this isn't about shaming you or shaming any parts of you. This is about being honest enough to see her, that inner child. This is about honoring her and the role that she plays in handing the baton to the version of you that wants to choose differently and that wants to evolve. And that choice, that conscious interruption is where your embodiment begins. And that then takes us into the second practice, which changed everything for me. And this is creating rituals that reflect your becoming. This is where we stop just talking about it or planning it or doing all the things that we do This is where we start to embody it because your evolution cannot just live on a vision board, right? It cannot just live on stuff you save on social media. Your evolution has to live in your body. It has to be experienced by you. That means anchoring in new habits, new language, new energy practices that align with the version of you that you are becoming. And so if your daily rhythm doesn't reflect your next level, that means it reflects your current level, right? And so that means your results will not reflect your next level. Your results will reflect your current level. Do we get it? Like, is the connection clear? Either you're showing up as the existing version of yourself, or you're going to start to show up as the next, more evolved version of you. And I'm just giving it to you straight because I want to see you. I want to see every single one of us living our best lives. And I know it's possible for all of us. And honestly, this doesn't even have to be a complex process, but it does require you to shift entirely into a new identity and not some fantasy version of yourself, but the real version of you who has been buried underneath the people pleasing and underneath the busyness and underneath perfectionism. The version of you who knows that she was made for more. There is no question about it, right? I just wanted to dance a second there. I had to pull myself back. Oh gosh, because I know every single one of us were put on this planet to create our dream life. There is no question about that. But we get to choose. We get to choose. And there is a version of us who knows exactly what we were made for, who knows exactly what she's deserving of, but she just hasn't felt safe enough to own that yet. And I just want to add an important caveat here because for many of us, again, we feel like things should happen in a blink of an eye, but evolution does not happen overnight. You evolve by choosing differently, moment by moment, by embodying new beliefs in the tiny, ordinary everyday spaces of your life. You evolve by changing the language that you speak to yourself and to others with, rooting yourself in love and empathy and acceptance. Because, see, the thing is, once you accept all of you, your willingness to accept others just exponentially, uh, it multiplies. And so your evolution is in your language and how you speak to yourself. It's in what you are no longer willing to tolerate, the people, the places, the things. It's in how you prioritize what feels good and authentic to the version of you that you're becoming, not the version of you that you currently are, because what feels good to her may not necessarily align with what will feel good with the version of you that you're becoming. So getting clear on that is important as well. How does she start her day? What does she say no to? What does she believe about herself? What are her non-negotiables? How does she honor her energy even when no one is there to see her, when no one's watching? These are just some of the questions that will help you to create new rituals and develop new relationships, especially the relationship you develop and cultivate with yourself. And so I began doing morning rituals. I had always had a morning practice, but then it's just evolved. It's always been evolving, and it's definitely more evolved now because it's not just for motivation now. My morning rituals attune me. Small, consistent actions that affirm to myself because the words and the actions have to synchronize, they have to align. And so through small practices, I say to myself, I trust myself, I value my energy, and I am safe to show up today as her. I let go of perfection and trying to fit myself into other people's circles and squares. And I redefined what power looked like for me. Small, consistent actions and creating sacred space to listen to my energy before I give any effort to the rest of this world. And this YouTube channel is a prime example of that because I've been wanting to show up in this way for a long time to speak, to share, and to teach from my truth. But for years, I kept waiting for the right time. I kept waiting for the perfect brand visuals, the polished content plan, the version of me that had it all figured out. But that was just another delay tactic dressed up as preparation. And this time I chose alignment over perfection. I chose obedience to my calling over waiting to have it all together. Because this is what she would do, the woman that I'm becoming. She doesn't wait until the path has been created. She creates her own path. She doesn't wait until she's ready. She moves when heart and soul aligns. And this space, this channel, this is not just content for me. It's not. It truly is a sacred transmission, an invitation for the woman who knows she is not here to keep starting over and over and over. She is not here to spend her entire life fixing herself. She is not here to have other people validate her worthiness. This channel is for the woman who's ready to evolve from the inside out. I see you, I am you, and I created this space for us. So here's what I want to leave with you. And this is not for the faint of heart, like I said, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Because if you're not ready to let go of who you have been, don't expect to meet who you're becoming. I'm going to say that again, and I'm saying this with love. If you're not ready to let go of who you have been and who you currently are, then you're not ready to meet the next version of yourself. If you're not willing to release what no longer aligns, if you're still attached to being productive or being busy over being present, if you're still trying to prove your worth instead of just owning it, then the next level that you crave will continue to run away from you. I know, I've been there. So if you're ready to stop recycling versions of yourself, if you're ready to embody and not escape, if you're ready to build from alignment and not burnout, if you're ready to evolve from love and not fear, then this is your season. And you do not have to walk it alone. Every single week, I'll be dropping new videos on mindset, energy alignment, manifestation, and building a soul-led empire from the ground up, from the inside out. So let me know in the comments, what are you ready to stop restarting? What part of your evolution are you reclaiming? And if you're looking for deeper support and weekly shifts like this, I also have a newsletter that you can join. It's called the Empire Frequency. The link is in the description. It's where I share tools and rituals and reminders for soul-led women like you, building your life from alignment. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Lovies, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I'm so excited for this season, for me and for you. I want you to remember this. You are not here to start over and over and over. You're not, right? We are here to evolve. You are here to evolve. There is a next level with your name on it. That starts with your willingness to let go. So, cheers to your becoming. Peace and love.